Okay, now it's time to add some content to our site. The first thing you need to decide is if you're going to have a static home page or if you're going to make it in the style of a regular blog. In other words, you can have a home page like on any regular site that gives them some information, or you can have it in blog style where your most recent post shows at the top and it just goes in post order after that. It's entirely up to you how you want to do that. So if you don't do anything here as far as setting up a home page, then it's going to act like a regular blog and your posts are all going to show up in a row down the page as people roll through. Now if you do want a home page, what you're going to have to do is go and create one first. So go to Pages, and then you're going to have to add a new page. Okay, this is where you put your home page. Now you can create a home page even if you're going to use it in blog style, because you should have a page that tells them about your site that they can click on along the sidebar if they wanted to find out more about you and your site. So you just put what you want on this page. It's just like a word processor. Put your title in here, put any content you want on the page down here. Okay, so I just created a quick home page like this, and then you can just tell it whether you're going to allow comments or not. I'm not going to on my home page, and that's all I need to do here. So we'll publish that. Okay, now what we need to do is if we're going to have a home page that's going to come up when people visit our site, we need to go to Settings and we need to go to Reading. Okay, now this is where you can determine if you want it to act like a static home page. This is where you do it. Just click on Static Home Page and then click this for your front page. Okay, and save your changes. That'll now be the page that comes up when people go to your site, just like that. Then all your posts and categories appear down the sidebar, but this will always be your home page. Now if you don't do that, if you take the static page out and you just use your latest post, it'll act like a regular blog. So I'm just going to leave it like that now. Okay, so now that we have a home page, it's time to start adding some real content. Now the first thing we're going to do is set up our automated content. Remember, this blog is going to include automated content and content that we create ourselves or have created and put on the blog. This has got to be a good blog. It cannot be all automated content. Otherwise, you're just copying somebody else's work and it's not going to be interesting for people. So you need to come up with your own content, or you have to have somebody write it for you. And it's not that expensive to have somebody do it if you don't want to do it yourself. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add video content, and that is going to be our automated content. Okay, now we're going to add automated video content to our site. This is going to help us because it'll make our site interesting, and it's also going to keep the search robots coming back all the time because our content's going to keep changing all by itself. Now on top of this, we need to add textual content, articles, or in this case it's going to be recipes on this blog. Every once in a while, every week or so is probably fine. So this takes a lot of workload off you by automating part of the content. Now to do that, we finally have to go and set up WP-O-Matic. So click on that. Okay, and then we just go through the setup process here. So we have to test Simple Pi. So to do this, you just run this test. So just click on where it says this test, and it comes up and tells you if your server is up to date enough. Okay, and as you can see, everything is fine here. Okay, so we can close this window. Now, if you have a problem there, you're going to have to probably change your server, or you can try and install it and see if it works. Most of the time, you're not going to have an issue. Okay, so let's click Next here. Here, it's telling us about our time, and this is the UTC time, and this is our local time, and if our local time is correct, then we don't have to worry any further. So I can click Next. Okay, here is our code for setting up our cron job. Cron job is a job that runs automatically on the server and will populate our content for us. We don't have to worry too much about that right now. We're going to come back to this. Just say, check it, I'll be using a cron job for Unix like cron. Okay, so we'll just continue again. Click next. And that's really all we have to do. Now, we click submit. And we're back to the dashboard. Okay, now this is where we start adding campaigns. So just go to add campaign. And this is really so easy to get videos to come in automatically. You're not going to believe it. All we have to do is we have to first, we'll set up the front end here. So let's say our first videos are going to be on making sugar-free candy. Okay, you don't have to set anything else there. The next thing is feeds. Now the good thing about this is you don't have to go searching around for feeds. I'm going to show you how you can get one to do this automatically. In the resources document, you will see this document called YouTube RSS text file. And all you have to do is copy this, paste it into here, and then just change where it says keyword to the keyword you're looking for videos. Make sure the .rss stays on the end there. So we're going to put sugar free candy. Okay, next we go to categories and we're under videos. Now what we might want to do here is do a quick ad, and we're going to put making candy for this one. Okay, and we'll fix this in a little bit here, but we'll leave that as it is for now. If we go over here to rewrite, this allows us to take any phrase and change it to any other phrase. And we don't really need to do this for this particular site when we're using this plugin. Okay, so let's go to options now. Now what we need to do here is set this to how often we want it to fetch new posts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to every 6 hours. Okay, and that's usually a good standard to use. You can use every 12 hours. You don't want it to come too often because you don't want your blog to look spammy. So set this the way you think you want it to work. This will retrieve videos 4 times a day. Okay, next we want to use the feed date. So that's the date on the feed. That'll be the date of your post. Okay, we don't want to perform pingbacks. We want a published post. The author, you don't have to worry about that. Max items to create for each fetch, and we have 10 here, and that's probably fine, but you can set that the way you want, but don't do too many. Post title link to source, leave that blank, and then whether you want discussion on these or not. Okay, we're going to leave discussion open on the videos on this site. That's up to you again. Now, up here we have custom post template. Click on that. And then under content, we need to put in the link to the actual video, and we're going to say watch the video. So what we do is we put the permalink. You can see here we have permalink. So we'll copy that and put it here. Okay, and then we have to turn this into a proper link. So what we do is href equals permalink. Like this. Watch the video. Like that. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's going to create a clickable link to the video after it puts the content of the feed on there. Actually, we should probably have double quotes around this here. It'll work without them, but it's proper way to do it is like that. Okay, so we have our options set now. Now all we have to do is click submit. Okay, and you see here that it gives us an error, and that is because we have spaces in here, and spaces need to be put in as %20. That is a space in a URL. So put %20 where there are any spaces there. Okay, there we go. We'll click submit. And there it is. Okay, and then we can continue. We can add some more. So let's say sugar-free chocolate. And then go to feeds. Again, we put our feed URL in here. So we can copy this in. Actually, sugar free chocolate. Okay, and then categories. Chocolate. And nothing in rewrite. Go back to our options. Send this to 6 hours. And then we will use our feed date. And we'll not allow pings. Okay, so that one's ready. We'll submit. Okay, and we just continue like this. We can add a few feeds now, and then we can come back and add some more later. Okay, so that's how you do it. If we go back here to campaigns now, you'll see that we have two campaigns set up, making sugar-free candy and sugar-free chocolate. Okay, now what we can do now, let's go fix these categories. If we go back to posts and we go to categories, see we have chocolate, and we could put chocolate underneath making candy here. So let's edit this and let's put it under making candy. Okay, and then let's put that whole thing under videos. Okay, so we have videos, making candy, and chocolate. Actually, we probably should have that just under videos, I guess. You can put these however you want. I'm just going to put chocolate under videos. Okay, so that's how we can fix our categories here if we decided to add some while we were going and setting up our videos. Okay, so that's all set now. Okay, now what we can do is we can go and we can fetch those manually right now just by clicking on the fetch button in campaigns. Let's go to campaigns. And if we click on the fetch button, it's going to fetch the posts for us and bring them in. Let's fetch the first one here, making sugar-free candy. Okay, it brought in 10 posts. Okay, let's go visit our site. Okay, and here's our recent posts. Okay, now if we click on the links here, let's click on the first links. Okay, it brings in, oh, we have a little problem here. I didn't get that syntax right. There's a space there. So this didn't come out as a clickable link. Okay, so this isn't going to work the way we want. So let's go back and fix that. Just go back to admin here. Let's reset this. Let's edit. Okay, see that space there? We should have an A there, like that. There. Okay, well now we'll submit. And let's go and fix the other one, because somehow we missed that. Okay, somehow we don't have anything in here. Okay, so let's just copy it from the other one. Okay, so copy this. And we'll paste it into this one. Make sure you have that checked. Okay, that looks correct now. Submit. Okay, we'll go back to campaigns. We'll try it again. Let's fetch this one this time. Okay, it fetched 10. Let's go look at our site. Okay, let's go look at our first post here. And you'll see now we have a link that says watch the video. And when we click on that, it'll take them over to YouTube where they can watch the video. Okay, so that's how the automated content is added. Now we have to set up the automated part. And again, we probably should add categories above the post here. But you'll see that now we have chocolate and making candy underneath our videos. Okay, so all these categories work. If we click on the chocolate category, okay, then it brings up our post in order as we see here. Just like that. Okay, so that's the automated part of our blog. Now we have to go and set up the rest of the automation now. So let's go back to the admin area. And we have to let's go to options. And what we have to do now is get the cron ready URL. Okay, so just copy this. And now we have to go to our cPanel and we have to set up a cron job. Okay, so what we have to do now is log into our cPanel. Okay, and then we go to cron jobs. If you don't have cPanel hosting, you will have a way to set up cron jobs. So let's click on that. And then we'll click on standard. And I already have some set up in here, but go to your first entry. And in here, first of all, paste the URL in. Okay, and then go back right to the start of it here. Okay, and then I'm going to paste some characters in front of here with a space. Okay, so we have curl, and then a space, a couple of dashes, silent, a space, a couple of dashes, compressed, and a space. I have included that for you in the resources document, so you don't have to remember it. Just make sure it is before your URL, your cron ready URL. Okay, and then we set this to every 6 hours for fetching, so we want to also do every 6 hours in our cron job. Now we just save our cron tab, and that's that. Our video content is now completely automated. In the next video, we will continue with our content setup. Okay, now we're going to talk about posting our manual content, which is going to be our textual content. Okay, so what we need to do is just go posts, and then we're going to add a new post. And now this is really self-explanatory. There's not much to show you here other than what you need to do in your posts. Now remember, keywords are what's going to get you the traffic. By putting the keywords in the post title, it also ends up in your URL. And by putting the keywords in your text down here, it also helps with search engines. And then also you want to put in tags. Okay, so make sure you post your tags in here for your post. Okay, so I'm going to do one on making candy corn. Okay, so my keyword that I'm going for this post is a candy corn recipe. So that's exactly what I put in the post title. Down here, I'm going to make sure that my post has candy corn recipe in the first sentence. Okay, so here I have this candy corn recipe. Okay, and then I continued with my article. And you'll find it in here a couple of more times as well. Okay, and then over here, we need to put in our tags. So we put in candy corn, comma, candy corn recipe, making candy. Okay, we add, and there our tags are all in there for us now. Down here, we pick our category. Now we have recipes, and then if we wanted to put a category under it, we could add a new category here, but that's good enough for now. Okay, down here you can decide whether you're going to allow comments. It is set as the default to allow comments. And down here, if you want to change the title or you want to add some keyword, you can do that down here as well. So let's add candy corn. This is the all-in-one SEO pack. Candy corn recipe. And making candy. Okay, and then just go back up here and publish. Okay, and now if we go and view our site, we have recipes, okay? And there is our candy corn recipe shown at the top of our recent posts. And there it is. Okay, so that's all I really needed to show you about putting in your manual content. Now, you probably want to put some manual content in there every 2 to 3 days if you can, but at least every week. Don't let it go any longer than that, because you want some content that isn't being auto-generated in here, and it's also going to be unique content. Okay, so that's it for adding the content. Now let's get to the monetization part of our blog. Okay, now that we have our blog up and running and we have content on it, we can start monetization. Now, if you already have sources to monetize it like AdSense and CPA offers, you could actually do that at the same time you're creating your blog. However, if you have to apply for these programs, it's better to have the content up first, at least some of it, like we've done here. I've created the blog so that it is ready to put content on, and then I could go and apply for AdSense or CPA offers, and I could put my affiliate links on here. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have the most luck when I put AdSense and CPA offers on a site. I don't have as much luck with selling things off my site as an affiliate. So you can do it either way you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I use effectively. And that is to use AdSense and CPA offers. Okay, so you can apply to these programs just by pointing at this site. That's all you have to do. If you need to apply, just go and set up a Google account, apply for AdSense, and then for the site, just point to this site. And same with any CPA network that you want to apply for. I suggest Max Bounty for that one. There's a link for that in the resources document. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get your monetization on here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put some AdSense on first. So sign into your AdSense account once you have one. Okay, so go into AdSense Setup, then go into AdSense for Content, And we're going to put a couple of blocks on here. So first we're going to do an add unit, and we can do text and image ads. Okay, let's continue. Now colors, what we want to do is we want to try and blend our colors in the best that we can here. Okay, so let's go back to our blog. Let's bring it up here. Now first we're going to put an AdSense unit right in here. So what we want to do is get this background color here, and to do that we can go to the style sheet. So if we go to appearance and then we go to editor, okay, and when we come into our editor we're at the style sheet, and this is where our colors are defined. So what we want to do is go down here until we find our sidebar. Okay, so just copy the color code in here, leave the pound sign behind, we don't need that, then go over to our Google AdSense side and put it in the background part. Okay, so here where it says background, just paste it in there, and there's the color. Okay, we can also change our title links to add, and I'm going to change these to black. Border, going to make the same as this. Text and URL, make black as well. Okay, so there's the block that I'm going to use. It's going to look like that. And then we just pick the size here. Okay, now first we're going to put one down the side. Okay, a vertical block. So we'll do 120 by 240. Okay. Now we can just continue. And here we can add a channel if we want. Let's add a new channel. And we'll call it Candy. This just helps you keep track of your clicks. Okay, we'll continue. And we can give it a name up here if we want. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. If we want to make a new name for each block, we can do it there. Okay, here is our AdSense code. Okay, so let's copy that. Let's go back to our theme here. And now let's go to widgets. Okay, and we're going to put an AdSense block along the sidebar. Okay, so all we have to do is find a text widget here. Let's bring this up and put it underneath posts. Okay, and then just paste our AdSense code right in there and save. Okay, now let's go have a look here. First go to dashboard. That way you don't accidentally erase what you just did. And let's have a look here. Okay, this is where our AdSense content will appear. Now the reason it isn't appearing now is because it will take a little bit of time for the AdSense system to know that it is supposed to put something here. So it'll take a few refreshes before anything will show up. Okay, while we're waiting for that to appear, we could put another AdSense block in here if we want as well. We could put a rectangle block or a banner across the top here on our home page. So let's go and do that. Let's go back and we will create another ad here. Okay, so we'll create another ad here. And we can just do this on a single page. It's a little easier, I think. Okay, so then again here, we set up what we want here. So we're going to use a medium rectangle, and here we're going to put in our colors again. So our border and our background are this color. Text and our URL were black, and our title was black. There we go. Okay, so there's our ad unit again. And we can select our channel, and that's it. We'll submit and get code. Grab this code. And then what we're going to do, if we go back here, we're going to want this, wherever we're going to put it on our home page, we can just do it by editing the actual page code here. And we can switch this to HTML. And if we want it on the top, we can just place it right there, like that. And publish. Update the page. Let's have a look here. Okay, this is where our AdSense code would appear. Okay, you'll see this code is now appearing down here. And we could have matched it to these colors here. Let's try again here. Might take a couple times of refreshing for the code to show up. Okay, while we're waiting for this, let's put a link unit in. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's get ads. We'll add the link unit here. That stands for content. And then go to single page. Pick the link unit this time. And then we'll pick the size here. Okay, and then again, we have our border color, our link color, and our background color. Okay, we could actually change this link color to be the same color as the links on our site, and probably should do that. Okay, we could also set our fonts a little bigger here as well. Okay, so again, we'll add our channel in there, and we'll get our code. Okay, grab this, come back here. Let's go back to administration here. Let's go to widgets again, in appearance, widgets. Okay, and then let's get another text one. Okay, let's paste our code in. Save. Okay, now let's click on dashboard to make sure everything gets saved. Okay, and our link unit will show up right in here. Now what we should do is we should change the text colors on both of these. So if we go back to our style sheet again, let's go back to appearance and editor, and then if we find our sidebar and link colors, so roll down till you find your sidebar. Actually, no, we don't go to the style sheet part of the sidebar. What we need to do is come to the top and look for the link parameter here. Okay, so where we see this A, that's our link color, and this is it right here. Okay, so let's go back to AdSense here. And let's change our link color to that. And as you see, they are red over here now. And let's save the settings. Okay, let's also do the same thing with this one. Change the link color. And the text color. So they match. Same with this one. Should probably change the title too, I suppose. Okay. Okay, so we got all those matching now. If we go back, the changes may not show up right away. Let's see. No, not yet. Okay, so there it is. I actually changed this. I decided to put a banner on the top, and I moved this one down to the bottom. So we have this ad unit up here because it's not so intrusive. We have the bigger one underneath. We have our link unit over here, and we have our other AdSense unit down at the bottom there. Okay, so we put that code right on the pages. Now, you might also want to put it where your posts are. So if you go to your post, you might want to have your AdSense show up in here as well. And to do that, all we have to do is modify the template and put the same code on there. Now to do that, what we can do is we can go to our cPanel. Then we'll go to the File Manager. And to where our blog is, public HTML and making candy. Then we go to WP-content. And then we go to themes, where our theme files are. Okay, and then our theme is this one, 79. Now we have a couple places that we can do this. We can do it in the single, which is our single post. So if you click on that and you edit the file, here is the code. Okay, now you'll usually see a loop of code like this if have post dot post. Okay, so what it does is it loops around in here and puts out the post content, and then down here it puts out the permalink in the title, and the content is down here. So right underneath the content and right above the content, you can put the same code that you have here. So above the content you can put this AdSense code, and below the content you can put this AdSense code. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go get the code. Let's go into the admin area here. Let's go get the code from our page. Okay, so this is our banner code. So let's grab that, do a copy. And let's go over here, and right above where it says the content, we'll paste that code in there. And then right under that, we'll paste the other code. Let's go back to our blog here, grab the code from the bottom now, do a copy, go back over here, And then right under it where it says the content, we'll paste that code in here. Okay, we'll save. Now if we go look at one of our single posts, let's go back to our site. Let's click on this link here. Okay, there is our AdSense code at the top, and this is our AdSense code at the bottom. And of course, we still have it on our sidebar anyway, because the sidebar shows everywhere. So that's how you can get your AdSense code all throughout your posts. In the next video, we'll continue with monetization, and then we'll go into how to get traffic to our site.